Right, I've got the steering box on the test bench. There is one little leak, but it's out of my fitting that goes on the very top of here. It's not the best idea, but it's the only thing I could think of. It does weep a little bit, but that's not a problem. It's only a little weep, but it's not out of any connections, any joints or anything like that. It does work well. That's £1,000 or £1,100. Okay, so that works. You may notice I've done some modifications here. I've put a little fuel filter on here with a catch can underneath, catch any dirt and thing, water trap, and that's basically to filter any muck that's come out of this transmission, this steering box, before it goes back in the reservoir. I know it should go on the input side of it, but I figured that if it was clean going in, then it's going to be clean coming out. Anyway, that's my theory. The box works fine, but there is a problem. And I didn't realise it till it got it built up. And you should have told me when I was comparing these shafts. Can I show you? I won't take that off yet. I'll show you what the problem is. The spline's different. The spline on the Defender box is like that. See? The spline on the Disco one is like that, smaller. Oh dear, what a pity. But I have a cunning plan. Let's go and see. Now this is purely experimental. I'm not sure if I could find a yoke like this or like this with a different spline in it. I'm not sure, but all is not lost, because I have quite a few bits and pieces of old shafts. This is out of a Disco 2. I just was experimenting last night on seeing how we could get these universal joints out of here, and they just collapsed because they're not as strong as universal joints in the prop shaft. As soon as you start to push them through, they just explode. So I had a cunning plan and cut one open with a grinder. Why? Because I want to see in here what the dimensions of that universal joint is. Because these are put in from the factory and they're crimped over at the top. There's no circlips or anything, it's just got little crimps in. Big deal, and it only turns like 3 turns. It doesn't really do much. And they have a habit of seizing up. But if I was thinking to myself, if I can get this out in one piece, that's why I cut this up rather than hammering it through. I can not only get some dimensions of this, I could fit it to this pair of couplings here and make a yoke that's like a hybrid yoke. I don't know, like I say, a lot of things are in experimental stages at the moment, but I'm going to get on with this. I'm going to cut this up, measure it and see what happens, because when I was trying to get this one out yesterday, you can see it just exploded. So cut it out, sacrifice that. Anyway, it's a nice bit of aluminium, scrap man like that. Let's get this out and see what the dimensions are. 39.72, so that'll be probably 40 millimeters. 39.61 by 15 millimeters. Yeah, taking them to bits, you just destroy them. They'll just fall to bits. Look, they're hopeless. But that should fit into there. It's the same diameter, and could make a little, just a hybrid joint. The idea about that is it's just as safe, because if we put a new joint in there, we know it's going to be good. And all it was just crimped over. Oops, there goes my bearing. Now, is it practical? I don't know. I mean, if it's just a matter of cutting the Disco 2 yoke out, the universal joint out with a grinder like that, and not destroy this bit, then maybe we can put it together. I'll tell you what, we've got nothing to lose. Let me re-grease this unit here. Now we know the measurements, and then we'll come back and see if it works. Well, after a lot of fiddling around, I found out it can be done here, but these joints don't like to be taken apart and put back together again. That one's alright that way, but this one's a bit notchy. I think there's a roller dropped out. You can see how small the rollers are. They're good to put in like a one shot, you know, when they're new, because they have these little rubber seals holding the rollers together, and mine all fell out. Now, one other thing I was going to say to you was this. Jeremy cut off the shaft of the Disco 2, so I don't know really what's on the other end. Like, this is one I've just marmalised, but maybe it's got a bigger spline on that end. So the shaft profile, like this, is roughly the same as the profile on this. Maybe we could make a hybrid one like that. But there again, if we've got a full shaft off a Disco 2, maybe the steering end, which is, I don't know which end is which, this is an old Disco 1 one, maybe it'll fit. I don't know, but I just haven't got one. We don't see many Discos in the scrapyard now. Wish we did. Make life a lot easier. But so was it worth doing? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it doesn't leak or anything like that. And some people might be asking, wait a minute. Some people might be asking, why don't we put this big beefy shaft in the existing Adwest steering box? Well, the reason for that is, A, you're going to open out the hole, you know, like the bore where that shaft goes through, and of course you've got to get the bearings in, and this is making it very weak, so it's not really recommended. And apart from that, the drop arm is completely different, you know. So there you go, you see it's got a dog leg on it. It's not a straight one. Scrap. So there you go. I mean, I was sort of amazed that they've put a great big beefy shaft on here, and they've taken this idea of a big beefy shaft on here and made it smaller. Why? Now you're going to ask me, could you swap the bits over? Well, no, you can't, because this outer bit's all one piece. And some people have mentioned about regrinding this bearing. And the problem with that is, I've mentioned it to in a few comments, that you see the alignment of the washers here, these white washers. If you grind this back, it's going to push this way and put those out of alignment. So you've got to recalculate the shims that go behind that bearing to push it back this way, if you see what I mean. I don't know. But the internals of that Disco box, it was a 2001, were quite good. So we can save the worm shafts. They were good. Mind you, that one was good. I don't know what all the rest of them were like. But that was good. And even the shaft is good here. Amazing, isn't it? Oh. But I like that idea, because I mean you could make them yourself type of thing. So I'm going to have a look and see if I can find that dimension. Because like I say, it's alright that way, but this side, I think a roller dropped out. I've mentioned that before. Right, so that's it. We'll cut that video down. Yeah, what a shame.